Hello. How you guys do? Hello, everyone. My name is Jakil Constant. I'm the executive director of the Haiti International Film Festival, and this is our graduation for our Haitian filmmakers mentorship program. It has been a wonderful experience of having filmmakers, um, learn the craft. And it's been a two month program, and it's been a dream of, and just the collaboration from the GSC, Christina Tim, to Einstein Tim, and just all the speakers that came, who really helped, Be Sure, Francesca, Sage Love, Alikins. It took a whole community to make this happen. And the actual theme of this year is Haitian collaboration, and that's exactly what we did. We had filmmakers in Haiti, in New York, Miami, and has been just a life-changing experience, from comments that I've had from the mentees, and just took a collaborative experience. And we plan on doing this again, but this is our first time that we're doing it, and it's historic, and I think just doing the times of COVID, of us just using our resources and being able to, just to have this great platform, like StreamYard, Zoom, and being able to, build our community. So we're definitely looking forward to, we have films for you. We have our keynote speaker, Be Sure, Sylvain, Christina Tim. We have a whole day that's packed for you. So we're just ready for you to enjoy the great day with our speakers, and it's great to be able to see that our community can show positive images, and that was the reason. The mission of our organization is to show positive images of Haiti through film and art. So and the theme of all the films, the theme of the films was basically to do a positive story about Haitian Flag Day. When we premiered the film on May 18th, on Flag Day, and it was great to see that we had so many, we had 17 mentees, so we're really excited of all the films that they created, and our three selected films, that we definitely, Valerie, she directed a film, Pride of Haiti, and then we definitely had Roy did this film MD, then Dominique did a film on Radical, and basically the film Pride, it's the pride of Haiti through our food, through our art, so those are the things that we really showcased. Yeah. So those were the films that we selected, and we had another one was definitely MD. That was is about a medical doctor that wanted to go back to Haiti to help. So these are the films that we have in store for you. So we're definitely looking forward to having you, having your films, and and definitely check out our film festival. Our film festival is going to be in August. Later this year is going to be virtual again, like we were last year, August 14th and 15th. So let's definitely, we're going to get ready for Be Sure. Be Sure is our keynote speaker. He's an exceptional actor, and he always helps with anything to do with the community, and he's won an award previously with our organization. And same thing I would say for Christina Tim, get ready for her. She's sensational. She's a great leader, a great, advocate, and just a tech entrepreneur. And I did her accelerator program. Then, where we have Francesca Shades, I said earlier. Then we're going to have our mentee showcasing their films. Then we're going to have the graduates actually at 1:20. They're going to speak about their films and their experience with the mentorship program. then we'll close out everything around around 2:05, and then there'll be networking. So we're really excited, and okay. So yeah, okay. I think what we're gonna do right now, we're gonna start playing some of the videos for the films. Yeah, that's.
You doing over there?
Because, too much stuff.
This is a big day.
Yeah, but can we do this for until graduation?
Shh, she's here. Hello. This was made just for you. First doctor in the family. If only the family could see you right now, they would be so proud of you.
I want to go to Haiti.
What are you talking about?
After the graduation, maybe we can all go together.
What?
Me, you, and Dad can go after the graduation.
What about my business, his law firm, your school residency?
You told me your parents named you after this lady, Catherine Flittian?
It's Captain Fallot.
Yes. And she sewed this flag together from an old French flag after declaring their independence from slavery.
Yes.
See, this is why I want to become a surgeon. I feel like I will never be good enough not to know this part of you.
Time for celebration.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, that was one of our mentee short films with Roy on the film MD. So now we're going to show another short film.
Some focus on the ugly of the world. But it's so much better to see the beauty. From the humble beginnings of Haitian slaves to the freedom of their souls, after decades of struggle, the Independence Republic of Haiti was officially proclaimed in 1804.
So to me, Haitian Flag Day is a point of pride. It's a reminder that Haiti was the first Black republic in the Western Hemisphere, the product of an uprising, a revolt of enslaved Africans. And it's a reminder of my own heritage as a first generation Haitian American, to remember that it is possible to be free. It is possible to fight for your freedom. And I'm very proud of that legacy. And I try to live up to what the flag stands for in everything that I do.
What I love about Haitian culture is, well, number one is the food. Like, if you want to introduce anybody with the Haitian culture, you got to start with the food first. I mean, we could go into history. The history is huge. We're unique in that. But the food, though, is what like changes the game. Because, you know, there's people out there claiming they got, like, you know, good rice, but there haven't been one country yet that can mess with that Julia John.
Some people love the cuisine, and for other people, it's about the music, and for others, it's our chill island way of life. For me, it's all about the art. I've spent the last 30 years promoting Haitian art to the people of Los Angeles and beyond. And I mean, Haiti is the biggest source of Black art in the world, or at least one of them. And I think even the Los Angeles Times called us a nation of artists. We may have a lot of issues in Haiti, but we kick ass in the arts. I mean, Haiti, art is pervasive in Haiti. It is everywhere. And you can't go to Haiti without bringing back a lot of art. It's just extraordinary.
Haitian Flag Day means a lot to me because, number one, growing up in Haiti, that was one of the most beautiful days. When we go to school, everywhere was decorated, especially in the capital. You would see like literally strings of flags all over town, and it was just, you know, just beautiful.
When I think about Jean-Jacques Dessalines, I think about somebody who is a revolutionary. And when people think about him in negative terms, they're thinking about him in the context of violence. But to think about that, we have to also think about the context in which this revolution was fought, right? So Haitians, enslaved Africans were brought to the island under colonial powers. And so they were rebelling against slavery. They were rebelling against oppression. They were rebelling against the violence that was imposed on them. And sometimes that means that you have to respond with violence.
We stand. Because we stand on the mountaintops we are named for, Haiti, Le Pearl des Antilles, the richest in history and culture. We stand. We stand. Stand up together for l'union, for la force, for all the babies who didn't survive, for all the fathers who gave their lives, for all the mothers who still give birth because they knew what it was worth to create Haitian kings and queens, because that's who we be. It's our legacy.
L'union fait la force.
L'union fait la force.
L'union fait la force.
believe in something or not, it has no effect on its existence. I was not looking for anything, but I was being called to something. The gravitational pull of this demand only lightened as I got closer to Haiti. I've always had an inquiring mind, and science taught me to follow the breadcrumbs to understand it. I was old enough to remember leaving Haiti, but there's a lot that I did not yet understand until I got. Once there, so do being the source of all evil in my life, but part of my heritage. It goes back several generations. My great-grandfather was the last voodoo priest in this lineage because my grandfather didn't want it. He didn't want to turn his life over to having to serve the community and the spirit, the loa, but the spirit was upset, and it tormented the next few generations of our family. This is why my father left Haiti. This is why he disconnected from even Christianity, everything spiritual. And because of this, I was stripped of my ancestral identity. I knew this journey would be important psychologically and emotionally, but I never imagined what would end up happening. After the funeral, my newly found family members suggested we visit Sodo to honor my father's memory and celebrate his rebirth. My chest was already feeling heavy at the burial, but getting to Sodo initiated a familiar yet new feeling. I tried to ignore it as best I could, but once we started walking around, it was inescapable. I started drifting further than the rest of the crowd. A strange vibration consumed my insides. The closer I got to whatever it was, the more discomfort I felt, but I could not stop myself. Somehow, from it seemed like it would feel worse. My breath was being sucked out of my lungs, so I stopped in my tracks and I questioned myself and I wondered if I was losing my mind. I felt fuzzy and disconnected. A veil of silence surrounded me. No sound coming from the crowd. The instruments, the air was still. Even the waterfall sounded frozen. A feeling of solitude soon followed with a chill down my spine. The silence was suddenly broken by drums and the sound of seemingly getting closer with every beat, pulling me towards them. I was no longer in control at this point. I could only compare this to an out-of-body experience. I was still there, but somehow I was watching myself move and talk to people. Suddenly, I realized this had happened before. It was some kind of suppressed memory that surfaced when I was a child in church, along with that same childlike confusion that I once felt before. I tried squeezing my hands in a desperate attempt to regain control of myself, but I was powerless. Someone or something was driving my body. But from there on, I had no intentions of leaving Haiti. I felt alive. I felt spiritually attached to this land. I finally found my place. I felt like I was home. And it was such a relief. No more fighting, no more struggling. The spirits called to me and I opened myself up fully.
Thank you. That was the films of some of the films of our mentees that we selected that are actually on our website, and it's on our Haiti International Film Festival YouTube page. So actually, we're gonna actually bring up Bashir. He's a sensational actor, activist, and just always there to basically connect the Haitian community, and that's what we're about. That was the theme for this year, Haitian collaboration. So, Bashir, welcome.
What they do? Hey, how you doing?
How you doing?
I got it.
Hey, Tupac got boom, man. So, so I just wanted, you're our keynote, and so, thanks for being here. And what inspired you for you to be an actor and to do work in the community?
Well, at first, acting was not my first choice due to, the stigma that comes around it when when you have a Caribbean family, when you have a Haitian family. Oh, I feel acting saba. I said, no, pas faire. So it was that challenge was the first hump that I had to go through. And once I did accept to become an actor, the reason why I saw myself being drawn to it more is how passionate I was about the craft, but how passionate I was about making sure that our voice and Haitian people could be up there. Because till this day, there's not that many of us. I could count on one finger how many Haitian actors that are out there, and not only actors, but just seeing us. So it's been pretty much from now on my life work to make sure that I represent us. Even when I'm doing American roles, I want people to know that I'm representing Haiti, so that's one of my biggest drive for the reason why I'm an actor now. And then what was the second part?
The work that you do in the community.
Oh yeah, and then in California, when I first came out here, I didn't know there was any Haitians out here. I had no clue. I thought it was like maybe like 2, 3 or whatever. I'll see them at auditions and stuff like that. But then I went to a party and there was about like 50 Haitians, and I was like, oh, and they're like, and I just got everybody's number. And I felt that it was very important to create somewhat of a community because there's a lot of us out here. From what I'm hearing, there's a lot of Haitians out here. We're just everywhere. So I wanted to create a place where we all could come together, or a group that we could all come together. And that's why I called it Moonlakai. And what I wanted Moonlakai, which Moonlakai is growing and becoming, is not something that one person is doing, because we're all Moonlakai. So I wanted us to have a united group where when we do something, we all come together and do it, and basically just have our culture here and represent us. And because it's important when you are anywhere outside of your home, it's important to connect with your people. And I didn't know how important it was until I saw all the Haitians and I see like this. But I remember my wife was looking at me like, dude, are you okay? And I was like, I'm with my people. So it's been it's been my dedication to continue to strive to make sure that
Okay. Can we go back to Bashir? Thank you. What happened? Yeah, I guess that did we lose?
We'll come back on. They can just connection issue.
Okay.
There you go.
All right. Yeah. So I guess you're seeing about what Moonlakai means.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we got cut off for a little bit, but yeah, just Moonlakai is basically, we're trying to create a community and make sure that we figure out ways to promote one another. More importantly, we want to really stress l'union fait la force. You know what I'm saying? That's why I came up with the Moonlakai thing, because I was like, I want us to be a community. I don't want us to just keep thinking of individuals to have to do anything, and it's us coming together to do things all the time and support one another and making sure that we promote whoever. The goal is to have 500 Moonlakais in California, because then we're out here instead of just only one. So that's the goal.
And what has been your experience with the mentorship? You're in one of the projects, Pride of Haiti, and actually the two when you actually were able to share your story with the mentees. Well, what has been your experience?
Oh, it's been great, man. I mean, anytime that you could get a chance to give back, man, it's always great, especially as an artist, and especially when people are reacting to it positively. Like when I see people really taking in what I'm saying and then also be inspired by it, you can't beat that. We're out here to make each other better. We're here to sharpen each other's tools together. You know what I'm saying? So it's always a beautiful experience and something that I've always wanted to do, and it's something I'm gonna keep doing until I can't do it no more. But it's extremely important, and I love seeing just the new cats out there that are doing some great beautiful work and it's beautiful to watch Haitians expressing themselves in the art form, because we're very art is natural in our body, but unfortunately we are not pushed towards that all the time. So it's great to finally see folks taking it seriously, and it's not on their fault, but finally really having the avenue to go even further and not feel lost or feel like, well, I'm not besoin fè ba sa parce que kote m brale. Now it's like, now with the internet and all the possibilities in the world, you could be in Haiti right now and doing something and possibly win an award for anything, including Oscars. So the possibilities are endless, and then the untapped talented people out there there's a plethora of it. So I'm excited for all the mentees and anybody that's that's part of this movement.
And any words of encouragement would you have to mentees, because they're graduating today?
I mean, I would say do something. Like, don't wait for anybody to try to do something for you. Like, you have to do it yourself. We have this beautiful thing called a cell phone. You could shoot stuff on this, like whatever it is. The thing is keep being creative, because even if you're not where you want to be, by you being creative, you're working on your craft, and by you working on your craft, you're becoming successful. I mean, like I said, I might change my mind later on, but right now, success to me starts when you say yes to this career and you consistently work at it. It's not when you make it and you got the thing, $1 million. That comes because you chose to be successful. The success comes later, but you got to put in the work to get the successful part. So I think a lot of people put the word success at the end, and I'm like, no, success actually, it starts from the bottom. Is when you actually decided to commit and say, you know what, I'm doing this no matter what. And you'll become successful because of that commitment. So, and then when you look back, you'll see, you'll go, oh wow, yeah, that's right. It's back then, So please allow yourself to always constantly work hard, and don't be too hard on yourself. And this is art. So if one person doesn't like your stuff, it's okay. It's actually a good thing, because art is all about your opinion and the way things are going. So, but yeah, don't go full force and don't be afraid of anything.
And what was some of your training? What got you here? What is some of your secret sauce?
I mean, watching the greats. Watching the greats is key. And also falling in love deeply with the craft. Not just I want to just do one aspect of it. Like really investigate even the stuff find out stuff that you don't like. You know what I'm saying? Like, find out that, oh shit, I don't like to mess around with lights. Oh, I'm sorry, I cursed. My apologies. But find out that you don't like, writing. Find out that you don't like these things, but investigate, really go into it and find out why you're so madly in love with this craft, and then be great at it. Why not be the Michael Jordan of any avenue that you choose to take? If you're gonna be a writer, be the Michael Jordan of it, and then find out his work ethic. And that means it's a lot of work you need to do. You know what I'm saying? Don't beat yourself up like Michael to the point where, you know, you hurt yourself. But at the same time, understand that everybody could tap into their excellence and whatever level it is. Don't compare your excellence, but tap into your excellence. Because a lot of times what we do is we compare our excellence to other people and go, oh, well, mine is not as good as this and that. That's not the point. Everybody could be their own Jordan to within what they put in. So bust your butt and be your own person. You know what I'm saying? Be your own entity. Be your own excellence.
Well, thank you so much. Be sure just give any last words or remarks.
I mean, just, you know, allow yourself to just don't give up. That's one thing. One thing for sure is just, you know, some people are 50-50 with the word resilience. I'm learning that. A lot of people are not, you know, when they say Haitians are so resilient, and some people are like, yay, and some people are like, eh. But choose to use the word resilient in a positive way. Choose the word resilience in the sense of like how you don't stop from reaching your goal and reaching your dream, you know, and allow yourself to enjoy the journey as well too, because we are such hard workers and we want so much, and we're in a very low benefit because we start off in a place where we don't have that kind of training, we don't have those kind of schools, so we're extremely hard. But allow yourself to enjoy it. Allow yourself to look at the journey and go, wow, I started from here and now I'm here, and I'm guilty of it. I'm telling you stuff that I'm guilty of, because I used to just stay focused like this and not worry about anything else. And all these things will happen until this day. It's like, you know, I'm going to be on a show on Netflix and I'm just like, whatever. And people are like, dude, that's a big deal. And I'm like, but I'm learning now to be like, you know what? This is good. This is great. Let me enjoy it. Let me let people love on me and be supportive, you know, and then also support one another, man. In this art, you have to support one another. Whoever you're sitting next to or whoever's on the Zoom call next to you, you want to hope that one day you get to work with each other. You know what I'm saying? Like the goal is to be able to like, yo, you were with me. You know what I'm saying? So constantly keep that other, you know, sentence in mind, union fait la force, in a sense of like, yo, let's come up together. Because if you look at all the greats, think about all the greats, right? From the Tarantino to Scorsese to Spielberg, they work with the same people. If you notice, all the greats, they end up working with the same people, whether if it's the same DP, whether if it's the same actor, whether if it's whatever, you know what I'm saying? It's because they come up together and they go, yo, I'm bringing with you, I'm bringing with you. And they pull each other up because they know each other's skills and they sharpen each other. You know what I'm saying? So working together is a benefit. If you see somebody that's better than you, dude, that's great, because that person is going to make you good as well too, and vice versa. You guys could learn from each other instead of saying, this is a competition balada. You know what I'm saying? This is not the time to be competitive, especially when we are underserved. It's one thing if we were like, you know, there was 500 Haitian shows out there, and then I'll be like, okay, I'm going one. But there's none. So we all got to come in here with a whole lot of force and just say, let's do it.
And let us know about your new show that's going to be on Netflix. This is in June. And
June 17, I'm going to be on a show called Black Summer. I'm in episode 5, and it's a zombie apocalypse thing, and it's just me and this other guy for the hour, and it's gonna be good. It's good. It's a good look. It's definitely a step forward into my career. On June 6th, Claws come out. I'm in a couple episodes on season 4 of that as well, and then last Thursday, I just booked a voiceover for an animated Haitian show for Netflix. Oh, I guess the secret. Y'all just heard it here. This is nobody's supposed to know about this, but I felt like sharing it. You know, because hey, why not? You know, we're representing. But yeah, no, it's gonna be pretty dope. I think it's a script that Wyclef had a long time ago, and I guess he sold it to Netflix, and they're doing it. It's called Prince de Port-au-Prince. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing. You can follow me just by typing in my name, Bichel Sylvain. Spell it the French way, BECHELSYLVIN. And then and yeah, man, I'm around, and feel free to hit me up, man. You know, if I don't hit you up right away because I'm busy, but I usually figure out a time to be like, yo, whatever. If you have any questions, if you have anything, you know, you just need some support, please, by all means. Yeah, man. I no idea about protocol of the self.
Okay.
But yeah, man. And that's the thing, like, support one another, promote one another, and lift each other up, because when you see somebody in a high position, understand how hard it is to get to that place. But by you pushing that person forward is helping the community more. So yeah, I'm learning more and more. The posting, the celebrating, the hey man, this is my Haitian, you know, friend, blah blah blah. Those things actually really, really, really help. It just helps the community. It just helps us as an entity, as a product, because
Yeah.
you know, it's a product that's underserved.
Well, I want to say the last thing I want to ask you, the show Untitled, the one that, yes. Why did you create that show?
Yeah, I mean, that show was part of the initiative of Moonlight Guy, which is to promote anybody that's anything Haitian. We were just like, yo, let's interview them, let's bring them in. You know, we had Stephen Brunn, we had the chef Stefan, who's like a big culinary chef. You know, we had a couple of people like actor Jean-Elie from Insecure. I was on it, whatever. And we just decided that, you know, let's also in a media way support one another by, you know, if you're doing something, whether it's big or small, doesn't matter. The point is, if you're Haitian, somebody needs to see you, somebody needs to hear about you. That's our way of like always supporting one another. So, it's not that we're giving people opportunity. It's just like, no, we're giving people roses and applauding them and showing that we're out there and we're doing things, because the lack of representation is real. So the more we could push our face forward, the better.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming and being our keynote today. And we're looking to see you at the film festival again.
Yes, sir.
Part 6. So, well, thank you so much. And next we'll have Christine. Thanks for being a ambassador for Haiti and for the the Haitian diaspora. So, and we thanks so much for coming today.
Appreciate it. Always. Congratulations, guys. Congratulations.
All right, so our next speaker would be Christine Natim. So we're she's a brilliant leader. How you doing, Christine? Thank you so much for.
Hi,
yeah, thanks. So Christine, could you tell us why did you start the GSE and start training all these entrepreneurs, like one of them like me? So what was your impetus of doing this?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think a lot of businesses start because there's a problem you want to solve. And obviously, for me, I think there wasn't enough platforms to empower and support people who are from emerging market backgrounds like us in Haiti, Nigeria, Ghana. And so that was the premise. And of course, when we started, it was really based on us understanding our markets. I do think like filmmakers, you got to create what you want to see in the world. So it was very, very important to us that we did that. Actually, with that said, if you don't mind, I actually do want to, go over some insights and feedback for the group the next 10 minutes, and then I'll come back and answer any questions that you would like me to answer for the group.
Great.
All right. So I just want to say hi, everyone. My name is Christine and Tim. I am the founder and CEO of the Global Startup Ecosystem. Many of you know me as also the founder of Haiti Tech Summit. I'm a true passionate believer in the power of technology and how it could drive innovation. And like Jack Hill asked, what was the premise in starting GSC and this company? It's really, I do believe we are the best people that we are waiting for. We are the ones that's going to create the best solutions for our country, for our people, for our legacy, for our culture. It's us. We got to do that. And so instead of, just trying to like appeal to the masses, I said we could start small and be big. I just didn't realize that, sometimes when you do stuff for your people, sometimes that is enough to go big, right? And a lot of times, comme haïtien, félicitations tout le monde qui t'a fait programme ça. Like, it's just, I'm so proud of you. I saw some of the films. I saw some of the programming. I mean, just vraiment content everything that you guys do. So just keep pushing. And as stated before, I've had a very diverse career in technology. I speak on close to 30 conferences a year. I've been on the Forbes list. I've been featured in every media outlet that you could think of. My first business is now a business case study at Harvard Business School. So I've been through several experiences to know that, when you build something that matters to you, the traction and the development speaks for itself. That's why, again, I want to shout out to Jack Hill and starting this initiative and partner with us for this program, because I think too many times we think of all the elements that we need to get started, but sometimes you just got to hit the green button and just go. And the rest will fall in line, because your passion, your energy, and your resilience will speak for it over time to make something that you started so small, an idea in your head, and make it a reality. So with that, I definitely want to encourage everyone to join GSC and be a part of the platform, because we're really proud of what we do as building this tech workforce of the future through technology, entrepreneurship, and all the programs that we've done all around the world, including Haiti Tech Summit and the like. And when I was thinking about, this program, this platform, and just the agenda in terms of what would I want to leave with all of you, I wanted to start by saying that I wanted to share some tips with the filmmakers and the mentors who were part of the program, and start by saying that the time for you is now. As someone who's huge in the technology and business ecosystem space, I know the power of narrative, and I know the power of how we tell our stories literally can break or make a nation, can make or break a people. If you see some of the screenshots here, from, the big headlines of people making major deals, showcasing the story of their countries and their communities on Netflix platforms, Hulu, or even the magazine articles that are debuting filmmakers, and the power that filmmakers have by changing the narrative, especially in a place like Haiti. You literally hold the power of narrative in your hands to really shape how people see the future of this people. So definitely think about, how people view filmmakers today is very different than how people view filmmakers and creatives as a whole. Designers, videographers, musicians, talent in general is very, very different now. So understand that this is a unique time in history. Leverage it, because there's a lot more resources and platforms like this program that is available to you now that wasn't available to you prior to this program. And I always tell people, when you see someone going viral, or when you see someone is making it, don't overthink all the steps that the person did to get to that point. I always tell people, for anyone that you admire that's successful, ask them to tell you the truth, and ask them to tell you how did they get there, because behind every successful story, there's years and trials and tribulations. There's such a struggle to get to that point that you need to really ask the right questions of people that you admire in the film industry, and ask them the tactics, the tools that they use to get to where they are. And so I'll leave with some, quick tips, that I divide out in terms of how to prepare for opportunities. 3 things I will say is, first, think digital, right? Your personal brand is a powerful component as a filmmaker. Obviously, people have talked about, making sure that you get a website. Nowadays, it's a lot easier and a lot more, cheaper to be able to put a website out there and get your brand. But if you don't have the capacity to build a website, there's no excuse. Make sure you have a social media page, whether it's Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn, and have project albums. I've seen people do Facebook pages, professional Facebook pages, and have albums with all their work. If you can't get to social media because you feel overwhelmed with social media, then do Google Cloud and have different folders with your portfolio. The point is create a digital first presence, because the future is digital. The world is not digital. We've been in a pandemic to see the power of driving digital first. So don't forget of that power that you have. Second is digital presentation. I can't stress this enough. Be very professional how you show up, whether it's having a ring light to make sure that you're visible, making sure that you have the right setting and aesthetic. Make sure that you are professional in this digital space, so that when people meet you and greet you with the, not just, your talent, but also your professionalism. Because I think a lot of creatives, many times, they get caught up in just the talent that they have and don't think around, just their sense of professionalism and how they show up. And the last thing I was think is also about digital income. There are so many avenues for passive income flows, whether it's, getting your profile on Fiverr, making a Patreon account, doing a Kickstarter or a Seed and Spark program to get your, resources. It's very important that you think about ways to build a digital income stream. Finally, leverage tools. I know I definitely think that it's a great opportunity to really think about tools that's available to you. And so with that, of course, there are different tools that I'll share this on the social feed, 109 of the best filmmaking tools and resources that you can leverage. Definitely try to find trends in the industry, creator awards. I always tell people, if you're applying for opportunities like programs, accelerators, awards, a lot of times people think about, if I don't get it, what's the point? You either apply to win the award or you win the experience. Either way, you're going to be learning. So always really help yourself in getting ahead and learning as much as possible. With that, I want to end for in the next 5 minutes with just some talking points about really building your personal brand during this pandemic. I think filmmakers and talent creators like yourself, again, you have so much power in changing the narrative around Haiti, your culture and your people, that you really need to think about. If you can lift up your personal brand and how you leverage that brand to lift up your country, it's really a powerful thing and legacy that you can leave behind. When I think about the world that we live in today, so much has happened over the past year that many people, I feel like, we're in a reflective moment in our time where we're thinking about, what is our future? What is our, our go-to action items? What do we want to see ourselves? And as individual, I know people came into 2020 with an impression of what things could be. And of course, the pandemic hit. And one thing that probably proved to a lot of people is that you can't control reality. You can't control the world, but you can control yourself. How do you react to the, this pandemic, this global transition that we as a society is undergoing? At the same time, the economic stress that we face as a society, you could control your 6 feet of space. Now, I've said this in previous talks, where once you have access to Wi-Fi, connectivity, even your mobile phone, you literally have the power of the world in your hands. And so don't forget to really leverage that. I know there are trends in technology and culture that's changing. We are undergoing another stage of our evolution of a human species when it comes to our society and the shifts that are happening around the world. And we're teaming up with technology, where I think about filmmakers, we're hosting this graduation, ladies and gentlemen, on a digital medium. So if this is not a showcase and an example to showcase to you the power that you have to reach millions, billions and people around the world, this is it. So think about the world as an opportunity, and think about this reality, and think about your story. When I think about my story as someone who grew up alongside my mother and my aunts and my family as a street vendor, and building this brand of, really tackling street markets and digitizing economies through technologies, and all the celebrities and influencers I met along the way, because I was true to my narrative and true to my story and true to the passion that I had about really putting Haiti first. Nous c'est Haïtien. Faut que nous toujours comprendre that, j'en parle, j'en agis in this world is how people view Haiti. You don't represent just yourself. You represent your family. You represent your neighborhood. You represent your community. You represent your country. You represent your culture. So comme Haïtien, we always hold on to 1804. And a lot of people say, well, 1804, we're now in 2021. Where are we now? It still matters. right? It still matters how we show up. It still matters how we tell our stories, or else we wouldn't be doing initiatives like this and say like why it's so important that we share our narratives appropriately and strategically in this world. And when I think about obviously the narrative that we have about Haiti, I'm not a filmmaker. I'm a tech person. I'm a tech enabler. And so I changed the narrative of Haiti and my people through digital mediums, right? Through Haiti Tech Summit. And it's all about how you tell your story. And when I think about, the disruption that I brought to Haiti through technology, the vision I had about a digital future for this country, creating a tech hub that will really transform the economy. Yes, there's going to be setbacks. Right now, as we speak, I am sad to see the state of Haiti in certain situations that I've saw progress in the country that has regressed. But just like, I'm also a mother of 3 beautiful children. One thing I would say as a mother, you don't just give up on challenges in, motherhood, just as same way I'm also a wife. You don't give up in challenges in marriage. You don't give up on things that matter to you. Nous sommes Haitiens. You keep fighting that fight until you have no fight no more. So when I think about, again, we have a collective duty as technologists, entrepreneurs, as careerists, as filmmakers to hold Haiti on our backs and shout to the mountaintops of the power of this country and the power of this community and what it means for the world. There is so many people that owe their allegiance to Haiti for what we've done in history. So as now we take that into the future. So I'll end by saying, again, congratulations on being a part of this amazing program. Shout out to obviously Jaquil, the team, the partnership and the ecosystem, and felicitation, because again, this was not easy to do. I'm so proud to be a part of it as well. And again, I wish you all the best. And again, the last thing I would say is, this is your time. Filmmakers hold so much power. Leverage that power and change how people view Haiti, because you are the light that will change that narrative with the power that you hold in your hands. And congratulations once more. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Christine. That was great. Excellent presentation. And I just want to thank you for being a great partner, ambassador for Haiti, from tech and in film, I'll say now. I just got the Haitian Diaspora Award last year. And I just think that, how do you keep that energy up? I remember you being at a conference from like all day till your voice was gone. I think there was a talk, it was an African. So what is Christine's secret sauce?
I don't really have a secret sauce. I think, one thing I have a TED talk called Pattern of Small Moves. And in that TED talk, I said, stop listening to successful people who tell you, oh, just follow your passion. It's more than passion. Follow your patterns. I learned a long time ago. I said this before. I'm not a celebrity. I'm not a sports person. I'm not this. I'm not that. But I am I'm a builder. I bring people together, right? I mean, even this partnership, you're, bringing, doing all this due diligence with the program. And we're like, let's bring them together through this digital medium. That's my power. And that's my gift. And so when you see me operate in my gift, I shine bright, right? And I think a lot of times when I think about the filmmakers, you have a talent. Shine in that talent, because it's that beauty that you bring to the world that people see, oh, your energy is so bright. If you put me in, let's say healthcare, you probably won't see my energy because I'm not a health person, right? But my secret sauce is really just being very consistently focused on what I know is my talent, being very aggressive about pulling resources to make it happen. And I will say also patience. Like I said, a lot of times comme Haitians, because, oh, we can't think like that, right? Things are going to have its ups and downs, but you got to keep going, because if you really are passionate about this, you really believe in this, you got to know that the direction may not be straight. It might be crooked, but you're getting to that end goal. And that's how I feel about these things.
And is there any words of encouragement you would like to say to our mentees, our graduates now?
Yeah, I think the last words of encouragement I would say is, first and foremost, everyone can give you perspective, not advice, right? You don't always have to listen to everyone. I think the previous speaker said that. You hold the power of narrative in your hands. Go with your gut. Go with your heart. That's why you're a filmmaker. You have something that's put you, if it came to your brain, it came to your mind, there's a reason why that story needs to be put out there. So go with your heart. It may not seem like it makes sense to the people around you, but as a filmmaker, don't forget your intuition. Sometimes some of the best stories that we love as a society, as a people, is the ones that we never expected or saw coming. So start with your heart and your intuition. And the last thing I will say, especially for an industry as competitive as filmmaking, do not make excuses as to why you cannot start. Professor. You may not have the money, you may not have all the different resources that maybe the big filmmakers have, but you have the heart and you have the mind. Just start. You never know how just starting, how far that will get you. I mean, this program, Jackie, we put it together like how, right? We just started, but now you have a foundation to build. So the last thing I would say is just keep going. Your heart, the universe will align for you. You just got to believe it. And I'm not saying this on some inspirational tip. Check my bio. I've been through a lot. So if I'm telling you I've been around the block and I've been through things and I have more to go, the reason why I have this energy and fire is because I've been through the lows, I've been through the highs, and I've been through everything between. But the one thing I know, persistent works. There's a reason why they say diamonds are made out of pressure. You can't shine if you don't go through things. Keep going. You will make it. You will do well. I'm so proud of each and every one of you. I've saw the films, by the way. Mes amis, nous fait bien pour Haïti. Merci en pile. Félicitations encore. Nous fait bien, man. I'm so proud of you guys. So thank you again, Jaquil, for inviting me to be a part of this. I'm so proud.
Well, thank you. And like you said, now when you're part of GSC, you're part of GSC for life. You're part of it for life. Mm-hmm. So
exactly,
well, thank you so much, Christine. We, and thanks for blessing us, like how you do when you always drop the mic. So thank you. We'll start having some of our speakers now. Thank you. Au revoir. So I was wondering, see, we have Einstein. Who do our speakers?
Yeah, so I think we'll welcome Einstein next, and we'll probably just do like you could probably just introduce him and he'll come on.
Okay, thank you. So our next speaker is they're a dynamic duo. It's Einstein and Tim. We spent months putting this together, but I think from the tech side, he was like, let's just do this online virtual, not wait to travel to Haiti to do this program or go to New York. But we're able to bring the whole Haitian African diaspora together. So that's what made this phenomenal of being able to combine film and combine tech. And he has done so many amazing things in the tech space. So we're waiting for Einstein. How you doing, Einstein?
I'm very, very good. I'm very good. Thank you very much. And yeah, big congrats on the program so far. I really appreciate the introduction and the kind words. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I have to get one of those. So, or one of the outfits. But yeah, so what made you get into tech and really creating something for the emerging market? What was the impetus for you to do that?
All right, super. Just to kind of just give a slight introduction, because to add to what Jaquil's already done so far, of course, the prior speaker that spoke right now a few minutes ago was my wife, my incredible Haitian wife, who I cannot, I'm kind of scared to even follow up because she's such an incredible phenom with her speech and the cadence and what she shares. As you know, I'm actually calling in from Ghana right now. We arrived into Ghana yesterday, but I grew up in the UK. That's why, if you're asking why my voice comes out in the way it does right now. So I'm Ghanaian British. Just my wife is Haitian American. So it's a beautiful combination of different cultures coming together in an incredible way. And right now, as it stands, as she's the founder and CEO of Global Startup Ecosystem, I'm the partner of the Africa Future Fund, which invests in tech companies for people of African descent, especially in the continent and globally for the Afro-descendant family around the world. And that's what I'm doing right now. And what got me to get involved into Haiti, people assume that it's because my wife is Haitian, so of course I got involved into Haiti because of that reason. But I was already passionate about Haiti. I already knew enormous amounts about the history of the Haitian people and the story itself, and I was moved by it. And that's why for me this whole program is so important, because it's a big example as to how a story, a narrative, and a culture can transform and inspire people from no matter where you are in the world right now. And I remember in Black History Month in the UK, of our teachers teaching us about Toussaint Louverture, and when I was 12 years old. So that in essence made me recognize I wanted to be involved with this country. So it was enormous pride that I got married to a Haitian woman as well. So yeah, that's what birthed my interest, and complemented that interest into supporting with the Haiti Tech Summit, which was pivotal in helping to accelerate the tech innovation ecosystem in Haiti and thus the Caribbean as well. To get a bit of context in there.
Yeah, and what would you say is, I guess, your secret that keeps you going? Because I know being, from UK, and Ghana, what's kind of your secret sauce of like keeping, that keeps you motivated to deal with these? Because I know it's not easy to deal with all these emerging markets. So.
Oh, definitely. And for those who don't know as well, prior to getting involved into entrepreneurship, and like I was a professional athlete, I played rugby, and rugby is another kind of sport for my American people in the room who don't know what rugby is. But yeah, rugby is quite a big sport in the UK, and I played for the national team in the UK, and even leveraging that to kind of understand how global the world really is. So when I started my business after retiring from the sport, I started business in mental health, and I was looking to raise capital and help scale my company. And that took me to actually go into Silicon Valley in California, rather to help galvanize support. And I say to my wife, it was quite tragic that I had to sort of like leave even the UK to go elsewhere to help galvanize more support for my company. And I would say when it comes to my secret sauce is recognizing that we're in a global world, right? The world is huge. It's a big world out there. For my Africans in the room who live in Nigeria or Kenya, Africa is a huge continent. There's so many other countries in there. For those of you who live in the US, there's Canada, there's also Mexico, there's also the Caribbean. For those of you in Haiti, beyond Haiti, there's also the other Caribbean countries and Latin America. And I think a lot of people don't really recognize or try to tap into the global market itself and how that empowers you in many ways, not just with galvanizing support, capital, and network, but also just with your perspective and understanding to help you scale any initiative you're doing right now. Yeah.
And what words would you like to say to our mentees, our graduates?
I would say that, look, genuinely, for me as a Ghanaian person, I knew about the Haitian story. I know that the founder, the main forefather, Kwame Nkrumah, was inspired by the Haitian story. We all know about all the incredible feats that were performed because people heard about the Haitian story across, whether it's the Nat Turners in the US or the Kufi in St. Kitts and the like, all around the world. So it's important that these stories are captured, and most importantly, beyond it being captured, it being captured and narrated by the people who cultivate, or who are the ones who are proponents of that story. And that's why, for me, when we were talking about the mentorship program, I thought it was an incredible pursuit, and I give you enormous credit and props for actually making it possible, Jakil, because we need Haitians and people of Haitian descent capturing these stories, capturing the narrative. Otherwise, we're going to have only one perspective. So I can only imagine all these incredible people that were inspired by the Haitian story. How many other people will be further inspired by the current narrative and current stories are taking place in Haiti right now that are not being told? So that's why these filmmakers who are doing what they're doing, I think it's incredibly important that you keep pushing forward and you actually recognize that the work you're doing right now is so incredibly important. Capturing the story, capturing the narratives, and making sure that the world gets to see that. And I'm incredibly proud to even be a part of it in many ways. Yeah.
I want to say thank you so much, Einstein, for bringing this great partnership. of combining tech and the film, the Haiti International Film Festival. And you've been a great, thought partner through this whole process. And, we're looking to develop, this program again and other things that we plan to do. Because I think the work that we're doing for the Haiti International Film Festival and the GSC, like our missions align, and to see that how we could be global. Because now from doing this work, people are seeing this as being global. So I just want to say, thank you for opening our perspective to see the power that we have with the diaspora.
My pleasure. And I'd say for all the entrepreneurs in the room, those of you looking to raise capital to help us accelerate your company, feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn, Einstein and Tim, or Einstein at the Africa Future Fund. Thank you so much for the time and the energy, and also for all of you for the work you're doing. I really appreciate it. Thank you. All right.
Thank you so much, Einstein. All right, have a good day. Thanks.
Bye everyone. Cheers.
Okay. Bye-bye. Our next person would be Cynthia. So our next speaker is going to be Cynthia. Hey, Cynthia. Hi. She's all the way from Paris, from France. Yeah, I met Cynthia at the Pan-African Film Festival, actually in Los Angeles, and she had one of her films in our film festival. And we showed her film at the through the mentorship program.
Oh, thank you.
she showed this film was amazing. It was like 2 minutes. When she goes, it's like 2.5 minutes. It's like, okay. But it's
less than 3 minutes,
It's less than 3 minutes, and now she's working on the feature film. So could you tell us about your inspiration of that film?
Yes, I try to speak in English, but sometimes I will switch in French because I don't speak English very often. So sometimes I may looking for my words. So this film was without to spoil it. It was about the experience of an Asian aunt of mine who was pregnant. And it's a true story. It was in Belgium. And she came to the doctor to see if the baby was okay. And the doctor said to her that there was a big problem with the baby and she had to stop the pregnancy. And it was untrue. It was actually a racist doctor. So this story was in my mind, and I decided to explore it, to do that film that you saw during your event.
Yeah.
And I sent it to several festivals all over the world. He went to the Haitian Film Festival in Los Angeles, and to Cannes, and to Kinshasa in Africa. And a lot of people said to me that it would be great to have a feature film. So I just finished to write 100 pages script, and I tried to find how to develop that film. And I think that because of the way it works in France, this film may have an international orientation to find funds and so on.
Okay. Could you, since you being what is your secret sauce for you working on this year? You work on many different things that I see.
Yes.
So, what keeps you going?
Oh, passion, I think. The passion, we say.
Yeah.
I think it's my way to be. I love doing a lot of things, and I think that it's the face, as you know, I have a project that I would like to develop in Haiti about a documentary film, je devais venir en avril 2018, mais avec la situation en Haïti et ensuite la situation du Covid, ça a été très difficile. Et donc, du coup, je crois que le secret, en fait, c'est la passion. Do you understand what I mean? Because I was speaking in French.
Yeah. I don't think everyone, but I think maybe in Haiti, some people understand it. But
I hope so. Excuse me for my bad English.
No problem. And is there any words of encouragement you'd like to give to our mentees or our graduates, our young filmmakers?
Yeah, I was listening to Christine just a few minutes ago, and I agree with her. We have to dare to do things. That is to say, we have to do the first step, and then the second, and then. You know, when I came to Los Angeles 3 years ago, I was coming because at first I'm an actress, so I was coming for another film, and we were just sit at random together. You remember, Jackie?
Yes. Yep.
And I think that it's step by step. And then I put my film to your festival, and then you gave me the scholarship. And then with the scholarship, I began to write. And nowadays in Paris, I'm doing a workshop as a filmmaker, and I'm writing, and so on and so on. So as well, not as soon. Tant que vous avancez, il se passe des choses. You just have to go on, and to progress, and to make some workshop, and to learn, and to share with people, even if you don't speak very good English or queer, and to meet people. And I think that that is the way to go on and to make the things come true.
Well, I want to say thanks for sharing your story with us. And let people know how they could connect with you.
They can connect with me on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on Facebook with my name and first name. It's very easy to talk with me. I talk with everybody. No problem.
Well, thank you so much, Cynthia.
You're welcome. Thank you for your invitation.
You're welcome. Okay. Thank you so much. We'll have Dr. Francois.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Shaquille.
How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm doing good. I am happy to have met this awesome team and group of mentees that you have put together. Not even to mention, the board and other mentors. And so it's really nice to get a chance to also say goodbye and really say congratulations to everyone on all their hard work. Nous travaille bien. So you guys should algo petit cremas, to celebrate. I think it's really, really wonderful to be able to have had this opportunity, and I appreciate you being able to create this little system from which all of these people can come together and really be, bring their creative minds together. Because one of the things that we definitely know about the mind and about the brain is like that kind of creativity really develops and functions really well when we're able to like be in a group, in a setting, and explore different perspectives and mindsets. So I think that's what you provide, is that ability to really just, I guess if that creativity is a plant, then you're providing the water for that plant to grow. So, yeah.
So could you tell us about, being a psychologist, what is radical self-care for you? Like, what is that?
Oh boy. What's radical self-care? I think self-care is definitely something that is essential. And the reason why I say that, I speak to that because before I take on a client, for instance, as a psychologist, one of the things, in doing an intake with someone, I tell them, this is how I work. And the way I talk about the way I work is I work from a very holistic and radical kind of mindset, if you wanna look at it this way. So that means that, sure, we're going to be doing talk therapy. Sure, you may even have medication if you want. You get a referral for that, right? But really, my work centers around not just the talk therapy, because I only have you for 15 minutes, in a week. Then I also make sure that they're engaging in meditation, that they're engaging in journaling, which all of these kinds of things that have been found to be quite rewarding for self-care and health and wellness overall. Yoga, mindfulness. This is something that I truly believe in my work, and I've seen the power of it. I've seen it work. I've seen it, help people to come out of depression, to come out and be able to settle and understand their anxieties and difficulties in different ways. So, some may call it radical. I guess the part that's radical is really finding what fits for you and doing it the way that you want. It doesn't have to look like everybody. Self-care doesn't have to look like everybody else's process, right? You have to do it for yourself and find what works. Now, our hesitancy, I think sometimes, especially in the Black community and the Black and brown community I'll speak to, is, we hesitate to do it. We don't have enough time, and, life is busy and all of those kinds of things. Yet we're the ones who are dealing with a lot of stressors. And so being in this industry, as you and I have talked about, Jacques, and mentees are in this industry that can be so stressful, and not always, as welcoming as you would have liked. And so it is really important to be able to take care of yourself, to slow down, right? What does it mean to slow down? That's one of the things that some of my clients that have the most difficult with. When I say, all right, 10 minutes at the end of the day to just slow down and process and reflect. The panic button has been pressed. What? I don't have time for that, right? And we're not always comfortable with that downtime. We're not always comfortable to be able to settle within ourselves and to reflect, and to just be, because we're used to the constant going, right? We also live in that kind of society that says if you're slowing down, then you're being lazy, you're not doing anything. And so there's a push for us to continue to do something, because there is especially a narrative about the Black and brown about being lazy, right? And so if you're not moving, you're a lazy person. And so we're going to fight against that narrative all the time. So we're going to always, and that's true. I agree that this kind of industry, totally in alignment with what Cynthia said, totally in alignment with what Christine mentioned earlier about this is your moment, you have to capture it. Absolutely. However, I will promise you, capturing that moment is not going to be possible if you do not take care of yourself. Because this is the person, look in the mirror, and that's the person that you're asking to wake up in the morning, do the brushing of the teeth and the getting dressed and all of those kinds of things and preparing for the day. And so you're asking this body and this mind and this soul to engage in all these activities to help you to succeed in this industry. But you don't want to take care of it. You're not taking care of that self. It's going to lead into problems, right? So it is, so you have, so it's about both, right? It's about the ability to engage in all of the things that Christine said. She was just speaking to me as not a filmmaker, but in terms of this is our time, it's our community. C'est Haitien nous y est, on nous fait ça bien, right? C'est Haitien nous y est, let's do it for Haiti and all of those kinds of things. And for our creative selves, right? So there's that too, that drive as a creative being. But we have to be able to take care of ourselves in order for us to be able to do the things that we need to do in this life to be successful. So self-care is really important. Creating a relationship with yourself and having a relationship with the community is everything. So I know I'm rambling on, Jackie, I could talk about this forever, but one of the things I say is, even on my website, I'm relationship with yourself is the foundation of well-being, right? And relationship with others, right? So it's very important.
This will be my last question. What's the importance of the village? You always talk about that, the village and the network. So.
Thank you. I'm so glad you asked that question. This is a village right here. That's what you did, Jaquil. You decided that I'm going to create a village for all these filmmakers and give them the space. What you're trying to provide is really the space for them to be able to be themselves, to learn about themselves, to learn about their identity, their individual identities and who they are, and to feel very comfortable in that village. A village is exactly what we know about village, so I think this is something that is inherent to us in our identities as Black folks, right? Is we think about African villages and things like that. We think about the community. We think about care. We think about the fact that, we work together. If somebody doesn't have, there's going to be somebody who's going to say, hey, I know you're lacking this, but guess what? I have that, or I know somebody else who has it, and people pitch in, right? So that's what a village is to me. And so we all need a village because we need our support system. It's just another way of saying that. We need people we can rely on, we can be ourselves with, we can depend on. Because if you feel like you have to put on air, or you feel like you have to put this facade on all the time, then you're not really being yourself. If you're not being yourself around certain, and when I say being yourself, I'm not talking about just like, well, I can just kind of chill and, and curse it's not about that. It's really like, one of the things that I remember telling you guys last time, I said, when you walk into the room, know who you are. Otherwise, people will tell you who you are. And so you want to make sure who you are is someone that you feel like accepted, right? Your community, your village, those are your people. You can go to them when you're under stress, that you feel like crying and screaming. Like Christine talked about, don't think like it was always a good time. She's worked really hard to be where she is, but she highlighted that there's been really hard times, right? And so, and that hard time really helped to build that character of that woman that she's become, and this force that she's become. And so that's the thing, is like, don't be fearful about things that are painful and expressing that. It's okay. That's what you're doing right there, is building character when you feel that difficulty and you're facing it and you're dealing with it. But having a community helps you to get through that. Otherwise, it's just really struggling. Like it's a struggle to try to do everything on your own. So knowing yourself, having a community, building that village, absolutely wonderful to have.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I'd like to say, give us your last remarks and how can people get in touch with you?
Oh, my last remark. So I guess my last remark would be really is about your relationship with yourself. That this is not a selfish thing, by the way, right? So I know it's very, and this is not also about individualism in terms of like a Western concept, right? We're collectivistic folks, and I'm very aware of that. And hence why I talk about village, right? And so my perception of that is knowing yourself, though, knowing our limits, knowing, when we're stretched to the fullest and we can't anymore, is really, really important in us to know ourselves and to be able to build healthy relationships with other people. That relationship starts with yourself, right? And so being a good friend, being a good colleague, and all of those kinds of things to yourself, right, is essential for you to be able to provide that to other people. But when we have a lot of like frustration and anger and all of those kinds of things, and we don't have a good relationship with ourselves, and the language that we're saying to ourselves is very negative, right? Like a lot of negative self-talk. That's how we are with other people. We're very critical of them. We're critical of ourselves too. And so develop a healthy relationship with yourself. You'll see how it helps you to shine the light on others. So that's what I would say is my tip. I know Christine gave you all a bunch of fabulous tips, but my tip is really about just that, like focusing on building a healthy relationship with yourself. It helps to create a better community and better network and village and a relationship with others as well.
Well, thank you, Dr. Francois.
Yes. And finding me on Instagram. Like you can find me on Instagram. I'm not really always like on Facebook as much, but definitely you can find me on Instagram, and then you can reach out. I'm on Psychology Today if you need to reach out to me or anything like that. It totally works as well. Dr. Lamont Francois at gmail.com. Shoot me an email. Not a problem.
All right,
congratulations again.
You're welcome. Thank you. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Exactly. Nous travaillons fort. Congrats.
Nous là.
Yeah. Nous là, nous toujours là, nous tout côté, nous tout partout.
Nous connaissons.
Congrats, folks.
Thank you.
All right. Merci, Jacques. Merci. Bye-bye.
Nous là.
Nous là. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Alicants? Yeah, so we're ready for our next speaker, Alicants. He's a director, writer. He was one of our speakers, and he's just an amazing individual. Oh, maybe he's not. Yeah, just wait.
Hey.
Oh, you were prepared today. I see you with the Haitian flag.
I'm ready.
Oh,
I saw talking. I saw Belshi talking. I was like, you know what? Let me put some extra.
You put some extra. No, that's good, man. Yeah, thanks for coming today and being one of our speakers, mentors, and just sharing your story with us. So what? Because that's not normal for most Haitian families to be like, you want to be a director writer. So
Yeah.
how did you get over that hump? The family.
Yeah, that's such a great question. Well, first of all, I want to say thank you for having me. Thank you to everyone that's in the background that contributed to making this event, and that definitely all the mentees for the films I saw were really great. And this is the first year, right?
The first year.
Yeah, so I can only imagine where this is gonna go, and hopefully we can do it in person. And whenever you guys want me back, I'll for sure be back. But yeah, to answer your question, I mean, it's funny that we just had the doctor come in right before me, because I think there's a physical or an actual answer, but really it starts with yourself, right? The moment I stopped wanting them to accept it is the moment I got free. So that's the first thing you gotta do. You just gotta understand that it's something you want to do, something you're passionate about, something you're willing to work for, something that's not work as well, right? Something that you're passionate and love, and then what comes afterward, because people are going to respect it at the end of the day once you finally start doing your own thing.
Yeah. Well, it's true. It's like once you say that you're going to do this, then you're going to find your tribe, So I think that's really, as an artist, as a filmmaker, you have to believe you have to have a vision when there's no roadmap sometimes, So since you had so many industry jobs, what was some of your, how have you been able to navigate that and to do your independent stuff?
Yeah, it's a little tricky because, you got to keep the bills on. You got to keep the lights on, right? You got to pay for your bills and stuff like that. So it's a balance of like realizing what you're willing to sacrifice, right? Time-wise, and then what you're willing to endure when you're not working and you're doing your own independent stuff. So your independent stuff can get you can get you money in the long run, right? If you build your portfolio up, if you build your catalog up, and then obviously opportunities will arise from your indie stuff. But at the same time, you have to work as well. And one thing I always tell people that's starting out, especially when you're doing internships, whatever the case may be, to try to stick around the industry. Like even if you're working in the costume department, that's the only place you can work in as a PA, get that job, get your foot in the door. And then from there on, like tell people, hey, I want to be in the writer's room. It took me a while to get into the writer's room. Like I was doing a lot of PA stuff and production, live events before I got into the writer's room. But from there, it was like, okay, it's not easier. It's just like you're more in contact with people that are in the writer's room, essentially. So shows have breaks in between. So I figured let's not rest. Let's keep going. Let's work on more stuff and do more stuff in between gigs, essentially. So it's just a balance of figuring out, okay, I saved up enough money to not work for a certain amount of time. Let me go ahead and shoot something and then come back, hopefully, and make more money and go back and forth.
And how do you feel about that film that you did in Miami? And you're very intentional that everybody had to speak Creole, and how difficult it was for you to make that happen.
That's tragedy, man. So initially, I was supposed to do a film back home in Haiti and back in Port-au-Prince, but we couldn't do it. So we had already casted everyone. And obviously everyone's going to speak Creole. So when we shifted the movie here, it made it more of a Haitian American story. I was so set on keeping at least that part of the storyline. The fact that they just got to the States, they only speak Creole, and then the community it's in Little Haiti. Everyone speaks Creole, and then but finding the kids, non-actors, right? To American kids, essentially Haitian American kids, to speak fully Creole and be able to act the same way too. It's not just being a piece of paper, right? I mean, a lot of people back home don't even know how to read Creole as well. So you're asking a lot for these kids. Are kind of like, yo, I only speak English, so let me try and figure this out. So we came this close to making the film into a hybrid Creole and English. And the movie's called Tifi, which means little girl. And even with the title, we're not even calling little girl. I mean, I just did just now, but we're just gonna call it Tifi, and we're like, yo, we're just gonna do subtitles, and we're this close to do it in all in English because of the talent that we were getting at that time. So it's just being true to your vision, asking, praying about it, asking your universe, using all your resources, and realizing like, okay, what's better? Me going to sleep, shooting the film, and it's in English, which I've done English language films before, or am I gonna be satisfied with my vision? And I realized like, yo, me going to sleep, having the film done in English is not gonna let me go to sleep. So it's about, again, it's what the doctor says about yourself first. I knew what I wanted, and I went after it.
And any words of encouragement you will give to our mentees who are graduating today? They're new filmmakers.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, let's go back again. Find yourself first. Find yourself first. Learn about yourself. I think that will for sure open the door for a lot of creative stuff, right? Realizing who you are as a person, what type of legacy you want to leave. Because then every single decision you make after that will be super easy, right? Once you know, okay, this is who I am, this is my morals, this is my principles, this is the things I believe in. Even though your art might not reflect it directly, some of it will brush off, right? And then obviously, if you don't know yourself yet, you're still trying to figure out, you're super young, that's okay too. But just know that, like, just have that in your forefront, right? Have certain experiences, go through certain things, make your bad films in the process. Don't be afraid to fail, right? Keep shooting, keep filming, keep writing scripts. That's one thing I always tell people. Writing is free, right? So going back to the question about getting over that hump. I remember telling my parents I wanted to be a filmmaker from a fairly young age, right? And I didn't know exactly what it meant, but from a fairly young age, I was like, hey, I want to go to Hollywood. And I'm laughing at it now because growing up in corporate, it's like, yo, that's the last thing you're thinking about, right? Or they're thinking about. But one thing I realized after college, I realized that writing is free, right? So it takes nothing for you to get a pen and pad and start writing, right? And obviously, if you have Final Draft, if you have Kelt or Celt, whatever it's called, script writing program that's free or software that's free, you can start writing right now, right? So just start. And then obviously filming might be a little bit more expensive, but if you have a phone, that's easier, right? Go ahead and make your films on your phone, right? Until someone notices your script and can invest in you, or if you can invest yourself. So that's what I would say, just work on yourself, right? Get to know who you are as a person first. And the second thing would be realize that, okay, don't think that you need money to do this, because the very basic writing is free. You just need time and dedication and effort, and obviously learn your craft, right? Like, take your time to read the books, join programs like that you put on, and just go for it.
Well, thank you so much, Alec. And can you tell us how people can keep in touch with you?
Yeah, for sure. So, I'll give my out. I don't know if that's going to be a good thing or bad thing, but if you're Haitian, you're a Haitian filmmaker, I'm here to help out. I'm fairly new in the years of Hollywood as well, so it's not like I'm this guru of all knowledge. But my email is alplancher, so it's ALPLANCHER work@gmail.com. So again, that's alplancher work WORK@gmail.com. I guess my social media is @alp_plancher, @IL_PLANCHER. Those are pretty much the best ways to reach me.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, man.
Man, keep making the excellent work, and we want to see Tifi. Okay, so done. Please send it our way.
Yeah, for sure. And that's another thing too. Definitely what Bashil talked about too, supporting each other, right? Whether it's my film or someone else's film and whatnot, that's the way we'll have a footprint here in Hollywood.
Yeah, we will. Definitely, we're developing our own ecosystem, so I think that's important. You know, that we have these great stories and this whole digital revolution. It's time for us to it's our time to make our mark. You know, and I think we're doing it basically. So, well, thank you so much. We're gonna now we're gonna have the mentees are gonna talk about their experience. So thank you so much. Or is George here? Oh yeah, Valerie, please. Valerie made the excellent. Oh, that's another bad. Hey, hey, how you doing?
Hi, how are you? How is everyone?
Everyone's good. We saw your excellent film, Pride of Haiti, Pride of Haiti. We want to know, what was your experience, you know, as a mentee in putting this film together?
Yeah, so first I just want to say thank you, Jaquil, and the team from the Haitian Filmmakers Mentorship Program. I just really felt humbled to be a part of the first cohort in the group. The program has provided me with a plethora of information that I can take along with me on my journey. I learned so much, like everything from camera lens to focusing and lighting and audio and distribution. During my journey, I learned of filming. During my journey of filming the documentary, I learned a lot about the Haitian culture. I was a little upset because I was like, 5 minutes is not enough. Like I had so much good and juicy information from the people that I interviewed that I really wanted to make a full feature film, because I just felt that the Haitian culture had so much beautiful and amazing things to cover and offer. And I felt like I couldn't cover it all, but I had so much fun doing that film. And I learned a lot about the Haitian culture. I'm still even learning as we're going through the graduation. You know, I just learned about project albums on Facebook. So I just want to say thank you to Christina for that, for the tips and tools. And even all the speakers who was speaking today provided a plethora of good tips and inspirational information to keep going. I really enjoyed the speakers. I enjoyed looking at the films. I enjoyed the speakers from the program. I enjoyed listening to their stories, their challenges, and their backgrounds. It was inspirational to hear about where they came from to how they got to the success and where they are today. So I just feel I would definitely recommend the program to any new filmmaker who's coming onto the scene. You guys have provided a really thought out, organized program that gives you a lot of information that we can put in our collection and that we can use for our journey. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you to you and the team again for just allowing me to be a part of it.
Well, thank you. You guys will definitely all get your certificates after. But and what was the epiphany for you that you knew that you could do this? What was that moment when you started writing the project, when you're like, okay, this actually could happen?
Are you speaking of the short film, the film?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, the epiphany for me was when I reached out to a friend of mine, and she provided me with a few people who I can reach out to and talk to. And they were excited about it. Like, you know, so the epiphany for me was like, okay, so they're excited about it. It really got me excited about it. And I was just ready to go. I mean, the little bit of equipment that I do have, my phone, my camera, a little tripod, I was just like, let's do it. You know, I do not shun from any type of challenge that I may face. I just dive right in. I'm willing to make the mistakes. I'm willing to fall on my behind and you know, fail. I'm willing to do that because I really enjoy the process. I enjoy learning. I enjoy, failing and learning and, getting back up. Like, I enjoy the process. So it was just really the people who I spoke to who was really excited about their history, where they came from, the Haitian history, which really got me excited as well.
Well, thanks a lot. And we're looking forward for that feature of Pride to Haiti, since you started with this. So when you're finished, you can definitely submit that. But thanks, Valerie. You did such a great job. And I'm happy that you learned a lot through this mentorship program, and definitely refer us to the next cohort. So,
definitely.
All right. Well, thank you so much. We're going to have Dominique next. Thank you. Dominique. So next person we're going to bring up is Dominique.
Yes.
Hey, Dominique. It's great to see you, man. I know you've been working on this project. You did an excellent job of, getting the archival footage. I know you would call me on Zoom and WhatsApp and get the feedback, but you did the work, So, how do you feel of the accumulation of you, finishing the project?
Well, thank you. First of all, good evening, everyone. I want to say I'm extremely honored to know that my film was one of the films that, went through the Haiti International Film Festival. I'm earnestly grateful for the recognition I've received for my work. What binds us all is Haiti, this intimate and collective relationship we all have with our motherland. Haiti is above all the fruit of many encounters and cultures. Haiti, land of artists, has an intense cultural influence in the Caribbean and several places across the globe. Thank you to Haiti for inspiring us. Thank you to the Haiti International Film Festival and to our mentors. Haiti, with its political and economical and social strikes, needs to lean on now more than ever on its culture. I'm proud to participate in the perpetuation of knowledge about Haitian culture. I grew a lot through this mentorship program, and I'm very grateful to have been a part of it. Thank you to all my families and friends who supported and believed in me, and all our mentors. I sincerely thank all of you for helping me reach the stage as a mark of my achievement. I couldn't have done it without you. I faced several challenges on my way here, but each one of them has only strengthened me and made me the person I am today. So thank you very much. It was a very great experience, and I really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Dominique. Let people know how they could. What was the experience? What did you learn from the mentorship?
Oh, I learned a lot. I learned a lot about producing and all the process of filmmaking and everything that combines, with making a film and producing it and so on. I learned to collaborate. I learned a lot of patience throughout this process. It was very interesting. The whole process was just great.
Well, thank you so much, Dominique. Yeah, you're a graduate of the program, so we would like you to, refer us, so we can get more film.
Totally. I would totally recommend this program to anybody who's out there that would like to participate and to partake in this. I've been sending the link to many people that have asked me before. When I started this program, they were very interested. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people to come your way for the program.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Dominique. Our next mentee we're going to have is Roy.
Hello.
Oh, okay. He put his suit on today. Okay. The Haitian. Okay. So, Roy, I want to ask you, what was your experience with this mentorship program?
It's tough because I've always been part of clubs and festivals and but to actually be the one creating, it was a different experience. It was more like a privilege in that sense, because you start questioning yourself. It's like, wait, am I good enough? That kind of like start to run into, oh, what have I done? Am I prepared? How can I get this done?
Okay, then what was the experience of producing your short film?
It was good. It was good. It's different when you are learning stuff in class. You could do all the preparations, and which I did. Right, I have files saved. I was like, hopefully one day I might need them. But when it's time to actually use them, it's a different process. I think it's one of those things we actually have to do, and again the skills and gain the experience, so you'll be more prepared. And this program definitely pushed me to use everything that I thought I had in store and make it useful.
Well, thanks, Roy. Make sure that you refer us so we
Yes.
get some more young, amazing filmmakers. And our next person we'll have is Marie. Well, thank you so much, and congratulations.
Yes, thank you.
Let's see, Marie. So we're waiting for Marie. Yeah, she was one of our excellent mentees. So, and so we're just waiting for her, or if we can get George or Sergio is here. Hey, we got Sergio out of Texas. So man, just think like he would be at work and still would be on his Zoom, and I commend him. Could you put your mic up, Sergio? We can't hear you.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, we can't hear you. So Sergio, what was the experience for the mentorship program for you?
Oh, the mentor experience was really great because I wanted to collaborate with other Haitian filmmakers like you and the other mentees, and it was kind of hard because I was at work, and then I had to go shoot another movie for my friend, so I was like juggling all three stuff, and then finally when we finished shooting my friend's movie that he hired me to do, then that's when I shot my movie, and I was like, oh, okay. It was like, so you finished shooting it like at 12 o'clock at night. That it was a wonderful experience. I wish I had more time to make it to the way that I wanted to do the short film, but I think it came out really good. And the experience I learned from being the mentorship is like networking with other people and learning stuff that I haven't learned from like from the guest speakers, which were really great.
And what was your experience of producing your short film?
Oh, producing my short film was good because I had my team with me, and then we were just trying to figure out, hey, we got hopefully finish shooting this movie, and then we could just jump on board and do your project so you could put it in time. So it was like we shot it, and then I had like 3 or 4 days to edit it while going to work and whatnot. So it was like, shoot, I end up editing like 2 o'clock in the morning. I end up going to sleep by editing and with all the projects. Yeah, but it was a great experience.
Well, thank you so much, Sergio. Thanks, you're a graduate. We will send you a certificate, and we just want, just refer us to another filmmaker.
Oh, I'm going to refer you to that because I'm trying to because I already finished my my feature. So by the time I finish editing, I'm going to send it to you guys for the Haitian Film Festival. Hopefully, it gets selected.
Let's definitely send it to us, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Sergio.
Well, thank you for being you, my friend.
You're welcome. Natasha? Hello, we're gonna have Natasha. She's actually, in Haiti, and she was just waiting for her. Yeah, she did a documentary about just about Flag Day, and then like Subjumu. Is she there? It's Marie. Where's George? Let me see. Hey, Fern. Not ready. Okay. So we're waiting for another mentee. So I'm happy. This has been a great experience for some of our.
Hello.
Hello, Natasha.
Yes.
Oh, looking fabulous.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So I would like to know, what was your experience for your mentorship program?
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, allow me to thank all the initiators of this program and congratulate the winners, Valeria and Dominique. When I saw the announcement at the beginning of the year, I told to myself, as YouTuber, here is an opportunity to not be missed. So I decided on the one hand to participate and on the other hand to invite my friends to do the same. After my participation, it is true that all my expectations of new skill acquisition are not really met. However, I am grateful for the connection made with other filmmakers and filmmakers to be. Optimistic by nature, I have learned to always see the good from everything. That's right, I am grateful for the motivation provided by the mentors like Dr. Lamotte Francois, Mr. Sylvain, Mr. Planchet, to only mention those three among others. In my opinion, this program could be more a motivation program than a mentorship one. Today, I will not focus on the unfortunate occurred incident where our mentor, Jackie, played the active role of executive producer in the work of one of the winners, but I must admit that this role of judge and party, which make us question the credibility and the fairness of the program, has disappointed many of us.
Natasha?
Therefore, all this and more
think we
will
got
not prevent me from congratulating all the participants who sacrificed themselves
All
to
right.
provide a video with.
Come on.
May I
Okay,
continue?
Natasha. No. Because thank you so much, Natasha. We'll definitely send you a certificate, and thank you so much.
You are.
Let me be the next person. Hey, Widdens.
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Right. Well, I'm happy that you're here, and it just shows you how the program is so international. And Widdens, I want to know, what was your experience with the program?
It was a great experience. It was beautiful to have connection with you and the other mentees. To be honest, that was the first time that I was able to shoot like a professional video by myself. And then, but it was not long because I took maybe a few seconds. And also I was able to contact the people that have allowed us um, to be mentored by. So it was an exciting moment.
Yeah. And what did you learn from doing your film?
What I learned, I was not aware that there are certain things that I could do from Filmora. I was able to use Filmora, and even after there was something from my work, they were doing it, and then I was able to do it for them. So I think I benefited something from the program, and also the program just motivates me to be a bit more like Haitian, to feel that I have a lot of confidence. I think this is one of the most important thing in the program. Although maybe the coming years, the program, maybe they can be improved. I know this is the first year, so you are doing your best. So I'm glad to be part of this program.
Well, thank you so much. We'll definitely send your certificate, and thank you for being part of the program.
Thank you. Okay.
Hello, Caitlin.
I'm here. Hello.
Okay, you're back home. I think I see you. No, I think so. How was the program for you, Caitlin? The mentorship.
So this program was very great. Learned a lot of things. So I met some friends, the speakers, and also the mentors. It was a very big experience.
All right,
It
thank
was
you.
a very big, yes.
And
So keep it right. I want to that I wish that there is a lot of another cohort, another cohort.
you definitely will.
I'm waiting. Yes.
So definitely refer us to other filmmakers. I know you know some. So okay.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much. We'll definitely digitally send you your certificate. And thank you for joining the program. Messi, who do we have? That was we had George. Hello, Marie. Marie. So we were just waiting for Marie.
Oh my God, I'm on Detroit station,
Yeah.
so
How you doing, Marie?
I'm doing good, and you?
Yeah, no, that's great. So we want to know what was your experience with the mentorship program?
It was a great experience, to be honest with you. All of us come together to tell the story, and this taught me how we can be very, to be honest with you, how your story means a lot, and also we work together. Um, it's this reminds us how we still need to be together, bring the L'Union fait la force back.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that you bring that energy to every class. You know, every class, and you always talking about us working together. So I mean, that's what this whole thing was about, Haitian collaboration. But for you to grow, Marie. So we're looking for you to make your next project and just continue to grow. You know, and anybody you want to refer to the program, you know, definitely. And what was your experience working on your film?
Well, it was a so I don't have really no experience when it comes to filming. I do some like acting. I act like an actress, but I never really stay behind the camera. So it was different. I definitely learned something, and I had to ask my friend to help me with it. So it was a good experience. It's always good to learn something new.
Well, thank you so much, Marie. We're saying your certificate and thanks for taking, you know, to learning a new craft, you know? So
Yes.
who's thank you. We're waiting for someone. Oh, Valerie, the model. How you doing, Valerie? Valerie? Okay. All right, Valerie, we need your video to be on. How you doing, Valerie?
I'm good, and you?
I'm doing fine. And you?
I'm
Yes.
fine.
Well,
Yes, I'm good.
congratulations that you're graduating today, and I want to know what was your experience with the mentorship?
Thank you. To be honest, I think it was a great experience because there are so much things I didn't know before, and I learned from you, from the speakers, and from the entire family. You know, each speaker tell about their experience, and I think their advice gonna help me on the future.
Yeah, no, I'm really happy about that you did
That's
learn
all.
from that, because I mean that's why we share those experiences, to inspire you to do better in your career. Either an actor, a filmmaker, because there's so many jobs you could do as a creative, you know. So we're definitely looking for you to any projects in the future or any projects you're going to collaborate. Definitely send to Haiti International Film Festival and refer us to other filmmakers. And yeah, so thank you so much, and let people know how they could, and we'll talk soon. I think George went. Let's. Do we have George? Or we have Vlad? Okay. How you doing, Fern? George? Maybe it's his internet. Yeah, we need your video on, George. Hey, Fern. How you doing? Congratulations on finishing the program. I would like to know, what was your experience? Fern?
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hello?
Yeah, it's loud. Yeah, we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, we can hear you. What was your experience?
The signal is not quite good. Can you hear me correctly?
Okay, we'll come back to you because I don't think you can hear us. Okay, we have Vladina. Or is Henry? Yeah. Okay, I think they're having, we'll just try George one last time, and if that doesn't work, we'll I just want, let's see if we can get George. If we can, hey George, can you hear us? Okay, we just want to congratulate. We want to. What was your experience, Fern? Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, he's having technical issues, but I want to thank all the speakers, the mentors, the mentees that made this possible. The GSC family, you know, the Haiti Tech Summit, Haiti International Film Festival, the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce. We couldn't make this happen without you and all the amazing filmmakers and the mentees who took time to dedicate their craft. So we're really happy. And one person I do want to speak is actually our intern who's graduating from Cal State Northridge, Abraham. Abraham.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, definitely.
Oh, well, thank you so much. This is my first internship, and what a way to start off my career, to start off my journey. As of yesterday, I have graduated Cal State Northridge, so I am also kind of, in a way, graduating with the mentees, I feel like, because this is my last day as an intern for the Haiti International Film Festival. So I am, I'm very kind of emotional way, but I am very happy in retrospect of everything I've learned here. I feel super confident going into the workforce in the future. And I feel like I have experienced a culture in which I had very little knowledge of before. And coming out of this internship, I am so much more culturally aware than ever before. And I feel a necessity, a duty to pass on this knowledge and this representation that I can bring to this culture and I can bring to my career in the future. So I want to thank Mr. Jaquil Constant for hiring me in the first place. And I want to thank all our speakers who I also have had the pleasure of working with. I want to thank Christina for putting this all together on StreamYard. And lastly, I want to thank the mentees. You have all inspired me. I think you guys all did a wonderful job, and thank you so much for joining this program, and thank you so much for submitting your projects. All of you are amazing filmmakers. And when Christina was talking about following your heart and following your intuition, it reminded me of this Stanley Kubrick quote. I'm not a big fan of Stanley Kubrick. I was when I was going into film school, but he has this great quote that says, if it can be written or thought, it can be filmed. And I want to give that piece of advice to all the mentees. There is no limits. Anything you can bring into this world can be filmed. And I encourage you to do that. All you need is a thought and a camera. I firmly believe that. And you have all proved your ability to film. Now just keep at it and you will find success in some way or shape or form. So thank you. Thank you, Jaquil.
Thank you. Well, thank you so much. And we definitely will work with us again because you've been so instrumental to the project, the mentorship and other things that we're working on, the film festival. So congratulations on your career, and you're definitely always have a home like everybody who wants to has a home with the Haiti International Film Festival. So I just want to say, thanks for all the work that you did. And yeah, I couldn't be more proud because I went to CSUN too. So just seeing, a scrappy film student making things happen, it was like, okay,
Scrappy. I think I'm pretty. Who are you calling strappy? I think I'm pretty fly right now.
You're sophisticated right now. You are right. Yeah. But well, so thank you so much, Abraham. And the last two people I like to close out are like Christina and Tim, because they were the partners who just really helped bring this home. And I just feel happy that this is online and we're making impact that we want to make. So I would like to, could I bring Einstein? Thank you so much, Abraham.
Thank you so much. And I just wanted to say, I just want to say congrats again to everyone. Obviously, this has been an amazing program. And on behalf of GSC, we look forward to seeing how all of you blossom and continue in this space. And Jaquil, congrats again. Congrats. This is amazing. And mentees, you've done well. The speakers and partners. I mean, it's phenomenal what was built here in a digital space. So thank you so much. And again, on behalf of GSC, we're very proud to be partners to this. Thank you again.
All right. Thank you so much.